Loblaws, one of the wealthiest companies in Canada, owned by one of the wealthiest families in Canada, the Weston, got a $12 million gift from the federal Liberals to buy new fridges. They can buy their own fridges. Well, we learned through a lefty publication called the National Observer that, wouldn't you know it, Loblaws sent some high-priced lobbyists to Liberal fundraisers right before the decision to give them the 12 mil was made. Joining us now in studio is our friend David Menzies. Hey, David.
Nice to be here, Ezra.
Well, I tell you, they operate in a real high league. I know one of the questions you asked in Loblaws were, do you think Trudeau would buy you a new fridge? And everyone sort of laughed. Well, if you hire a fancy lobbyist for you, who goes to the right places, maybe you really could get a fridge, but you've got to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on lobbyists. But maybe you get $12 million worth of fridges.
But you know, here's the thing, Ezra. From the economic angle, I think this is a total backfire. I can't quantify it, but I could probably find people in the marketing and public relations business that could. Loblaw's got $12 million for these new refrigerants, but how many millions of dollars did they receive in public relations black eyes, plural? I mean, this was in the news cycle pretty frequently, and the optics were brutal. A multi-billion-dollar corporation with the dominant market share in Canada for groceries, just coming off a price-fixing scandal with bread, is not being punished, but rather rewarded $12 million. I think this completely blew up in their faces. The second thing is this, Ezra. As much as our environment and climate change minister, I'll never get used to saying that, climate change minister, as much as she loves the idea of, oh, look at how they're taking the emissions of 50,000 cars off the road. If that is true, if their energy consumption is going down, if you and I ran Levant and Menzies, grosseteria, aren't we already economically incentivized, Ezra, to buy the most energy efficient refrigerants because we're going to save money on energy costs?
Yeah, none of it makes any sense other than the Liberals take care of their own. And I'm going to disagree with you because let's say we all hate Loblaws. Yeah. And I do because of the bread price fixing.
Yes.
I mean, there's normally white collar crime, you're stealing from like billionaire investors, and it's not good.
Yes.
But like Milken, who went to prison for securities fraud, he was stealing mainly from millionaires and billionaires. What kind of a person, like I don't believe in any sort of theft, but what kind of person steals bread from the mouths of the poor? That is a certain kind of lowness that they don't even know about in Wall Street.
Great point, by the way. It's not like they were price-fixing caviar.
Yeah.
Bread is a staple of even the poorest people.
Yeah, and people with medium or high incomes can afford to pay an extra buck or two a loaf, but if you're poor, you can't.
Right.
That's why Loblaws will be a disgrace, and Weston deserves to go to hell. Like when he dies, deserves to go to a fiery place for all the poor people whose lives he made worse. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't break into a house to steal. But for years, for a decade or more, 14 years, they made bread a luxury good for poor people. That deserves to go to hell, I think. That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day, I do a video monologue, and then I interview an interesting guest, and then I end by reading my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.